Hi, it's Phil Stone. We're going to talk about top search engine ranking using anchor text. This is really very cool. When it comes to SEO, links are like gold. And when you think about it, the reason we use a particular search engine is that the results of our searches give us immediate, relevant information. So search engines are always seeking ways of ensuring accurate results. And they measure a whole mess of things. They'll look at the traffic to the site. They'll look at how many articles are in the site, how many pages are in the site, keywords in the site, and links are a very, very important part of this whole thing. Now, if you think about it, each link that they find going to a site is like an endorsement for that site. And as a matter of fact, if the link is coming to your site from a really highly ranked site, like CNN.com or Microsoft.com, something like that, well, that would be a huge endorsement. Just like if you got an endorsement from, say, someone like Oprah or the President of the United States, it would be a huge endorsement. Keep that in mind, too. Now, bottom line is the more endorsements, the more links going into the site, the more important the site is measured to be. Search engines also value links that are embedded in copy, and this is really cool. You call that anchor text. Anchor text helps the search engines determine the relevance of a particular article. So they like anchor text, and basically that means higher site ranking and higher article ranking. Now, there are programs that can help with inserting anchor text, but if you have access to HTML, you can easily do this yourself. And if you self-host a WordPress blog, well, you have access to it. There's a little tab you can click. If you actually build your own websites, you have access to the HTML as well. So you can really take huge advantage of this. Now, here's an example. This is a line from a blog that I saw. It says, but no doubt it's what Foursquare is already offering, and people seem to enjoy it. Well, I'm not trying to get into the context of this particular phrase. What I want to point out is that you notice the word Foursquare looks a little different. That's actually a link. When you look at this from the viewing position, this is what you see. When you look at it from the code standpoint, this is what you see. And it's really interesting. You see the words, but no doubt. Well, right here is where the code is that makes that Foursquare word become anchor text. You see the link right in the middle of it, http://Foursquare.com. So in other words, if someone clicks on that link in the copy, they'll actually go there. And since that word and that link is relative to the copy that's in the rest of this article, search engines just love that. Here's the formula that they used here. And there are a bunch of different formulas. We're going to talk about those as we go through this. We're going to give you one that's a little bit more complete than this, which basically ensures proper results for you. Now, here's a site that I looked at. And it starts off right there with anchor text, SEO consultant. So I took a look at the source code, and there it is. It starts with that less than A, and then the space, and then href equals, and then this one is actually to something inside that site. So it's not an external link. It doesn't have the HTTP. And it ends right here with that /A and then the greater than sign. Here's another one. You see the word in the middle there, this underlined, well, that's a link, content. And here's what the source code looked like. And if you follow along, you can see that right here is where the code for that anchor text starts, and here's where it ends. Here's another one. And this one is really interesting because it had 3 pieces of anchor text in it in a very short space. It was actually talking about the value of anchor text and how it helped SEO, and it also says, too much of it, does it hurt? Well, realistically, I can bet that if you started doing more than 50% of your copy as anchor text, I would think that you might even be penalized. No one's ever going to know for sure because the search engines don't want you to know their algorithms. Looking at the code, you see it's all over the place. There's the first one, start and end. Second one starts right there, ends right there. Then the third one, you can see it, can't you? Starts right there. And it ends right before the end of the article, just before the question mark. 3 big pieces in there. There's no question about the fact that anchor text helps in both site ranking and article ranking, and I can tell you that because we have a site up, has not been SEO'd whatsoever, and it has a reasonably high page rank for a site that has not been SEO'd at all. And the only thing that I can think of that would make that work is there are actually hundreds of internal links that go from one page inside that site to another. There's a lot of content and lots of links. It all comes down to balance, just like everything else in life. You do something to excess and you pay for it. Same thing holds true here. You want to use this, maybe 1 or 2 per paragraph, but I'll tell you, if you do that kind of thing, and if they're good links and clean links, they're going to help your ranking for those articles and for the sites that you have. Now here's the magic formula. It's really pretty simple. Less than A, space, target equals, quotation marks, underscore blank, quotation marks, and that basically is going to tell the search engines to open this link up in a different window. So they're not going to go away from your main article or your main site when they do that. And then the next part, href equals, and then you put in the website, quotation marks, http:///www, and put that all in there. You might as well give the search engines as much information as you can. And then all run together, whatever URL you want to point to, .com, and then the quotation marks, and then the greater than sign. And then right after that, with no space whatsoever, you write the text words you want people to see with the spacing that you want it to have in your copy, then the less than /A, and that closes that particular command. So if I were to write on my blog an article that says, check out our internet marketing training site, the internet marketing training site being the anchor text, the code, if I put it in the code, would look like this. Less than A, space, target equals, the underscore blank in there, then href, then the actual URL to powerlinetraining.com, and then the words right after that, internet marketing training site. Then the less than /A, greater than, and it closes. That's all it is. You start putting those pieces of anchor text in your blog articles, you're going to find yourself getting much better placement and rating for those articles. And certainly you want to rate high, because if you rate high, that means that you're likely to be found on the first page of Google. When someone searches, if you're on the first page, chances are they're going to click on your link. They're going to go to your site. That's how you drive traffic. So this is Phil Stone. I know this was a little bit more technical than some of you are accustomed to, but it's an important piece of information, something you really need to have. You can find me at powerlinetraining.com. And by the way, don't be afraid to leave comments about this and ask questions. It's an interesting topic, very important one. So again, Phil Stone, see you later.